In other news, you may remember in April 2017 the murder of French Orthodox Jewish woman Sarah Halimi. And if you do, then you'll likely also remember that her murderer, who espoused anti-Semitic beliefs online and yelled Allahu Akbar as he threw her out of her window, was exonerated, found criminally not responsible because he had smoked cannabis before the attack. Well, surprise, surprise, the ruling has just been upheld by France's High Court, prompting swift condemnation not only by Israel and worldwide Jewish groups, but by French President Emmanuel himself, who issued a rare admonition of the French justice system. The question, though, is what's being done? What can be done? Joining me now with more is Senior Fellow at the Tel Aviv Institute, Hen Mazzig. Hen, thank you so much. Now, how could this happen? I'm pretty sure that anyone who's ever smoked or even knew a pot smoker knows that cannabis doesn't strip you of your mind to that degree.
Yeah, there's in 1979, during the trials for the murder of Harvey Milk, the supervisor of San Francisco and the mayor of San Francisco, the defense for the murder, Dan White, used a strategy that is called now the Twinkie defense. They basically said that because the killer was having a bad diet and he ate sugary food, that shows that he has depression, and that's why he wasn't able to premeditate murder. The same strategy was used here with marijuana. If you look at the numbers in France, France has the highest smokers per capita in all of Europe. If the French authorities really want to stick to their guns on this one, they have to create some draconian rules on how to use it. The case itself is really, the outrage is justified because the result is just taking away justice from Halimi's family, from the Jewish community, and I think that's why President Macron intervened. The situation in France for Jewish people has been terrible for a while, and I think it's just getting worse. And this was really another reminder that this community is unsafe.
So, does the Halimi family have anywhere left to turn, or that's it? They've exhausted all of their appeals?
Yeah, that was the Court of the Appeal, so they can't do anything else. And unfortunately, the killer murdered Sarah Halimi. Really, he saw a menorah in her house, and he said that he thought that she was a demon. He saw her as a demon, and then he threw her out the window. And it was anti-Semitically driven. I mean, he shouted Allahu Akbar when he murdered her. I think what happened in the last few weeks is, in the last 2 years since the murder, is that the justice system, the French justice system, has murdered Halimi again. And everyone who supported it and everyone who says that it's because he smoked or because of mental illness are murdering her again. And really, people with mental illnesses don't go around killing other people. It's really rare. We're hearing this defense over and over again, and it's just does such damage to mental illness. The Pulse nightclub in America was an homophobic murdering. The Pittsburgh shooting was an anti-Semitic murdering. The Charleston church was a racist murdering, and the same thing with Sarah Halimi. And I think we need to say it loud and clear. And the French authorities and leaders, just like Macron, which I commend him for doing it, have to call it what it is if they want to change the situation, to stop the anti-Semitic violence and the attacks that the community is facing.
Well, so more to that point, could you quickly dive into what's being done to prevent such a ridiculous ruling in the future?
Right now, I know that there are many groups in France that are working behind the scenes to promote the change of this legislation. Even Macron, in his statement, he said, he was trying to not intervene with the court's ruling because he's the president and this is the legal authorities. But there's not much that is being done officially by the French authorities at the moment. But I think that they understand that they have a problem. And having such a expression by the president saying that he understands that the legal system has failed the victim and her family, and understanding that this more than just anti-Semitic, it cannot be maintained. The French legal system will not be able to go on this way and to allow people to get out with murder because they smoke marijuana. That can't be the defense for the country with the highest marijuana users per capita in Europe. So from their side, there isn't much that is being done, but I know that several Jewish groups are working behind the scenes to promote a change. It has to go through legislators in France. which I hope will happen in the next year or so.
Hen Mazzig, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.